Solana slipped in here and looked like it started eating some of Cardano's lunch for them by providing these super fast solutions, some great potential for NFT. I actually just realized about a month ago that it stands for Solana Beach, which is basically where I'm from in San Diego, but they haven't airdropped me any coins, but that's okay. What do you think about Solana? Is it eating some of Cardano's lunch that we didn't think it would by taking some market share as a layer one solution? And is there anything else on the horizon like Tezos or some of these other things that might do the same?
Yeah. So let's see, where do I want to start with that? I'll start with Solana. I don't think Solana will catch Cardano. I don't think Solana from the tech perspective has been eating Cardano's lunch. I think that's laughable. Here's what happened.
Taking market share. It's taking market share potentially.
It has taken market share, but it's not based on anything Solana is doing. Okay. They launched their NFT platform, which was really big. And, the mutant apes over there, they did phenomenal. Here's why Solana pumped. Institutions started buying it. That's it. There's nothing more to it than that. We reported on a story that suddenly Solana had become the number one target for institutional investment. It passed Cardano, right?
Wow.
What was previous to that, number one? Cardano hasn't been Ethereum since much earlier this year. So what did we see? We saw Cardano go on a massive pump when the institutions started buying. We saw Solana go on a massive run as soon as that started happening. It like 3x'd in a short period of time after the institutions started putting money. And by institutions, financial cartel. This is who these people are. The big funds, your BlackRocks, your Fidelities, your HSBCs. These companies, your Andreessen Horowitzes, which we'll get to in a second, these companies are driving the market. Now, why all of a sudden are they putting money into Cardano and into Solana instead of into Ethereum? Well, they've realized at this point they can't control Ethereum. They can buy enough. Over half of the top 100 Bitcoin wallets were created since 2019. You know what that means? That means all institutions. Institutions are the only people with enough money with Bitcoin above $10,000 to buy one of the biggest Bitcoin wallets. They're the only ones. When you look at Cardano and Solana, you're looking at prices that are so low with such big circulating supplies out there. Now, Cardano does have a lot staked, but where they're able to buy right now for control, they missed out on Ethereum. The institutions missed out on Ethereum. They have found it has been so hard to get early Ethereum holders to sell their Ethereum. They have not been able to accumulate it at the same rate. So what you're seeing with Cardano and what you're seeing with Solana is the institutions injecting that control and trying to make sure that those two projects do not run away from them before they have enough time to accumulate as much as they want. Of course, Solana, very, tied at the hip with Sam Bankman-Fried, who's in charge of Alameda Research, who's behind FTX, which is kind of the chosen exchange of the financial cartel right there after Coinbase. Basically what they want to do is they want to have, Coinbase's digital currency group, which is certainly, owned by, not completely owned by, but digital currency group, of course, was basically funded originally by Li Ka-shing and Hong Kong, China. So it's a lot of control in there. But when you look at Solana and when you look at FTX, like FTX is right there in the same vein, digital currency group, Coinbase Ventures, they're all behind a lot of the money that was raised in a big FTX raise, which, like I said, is tied at the hip to Solana. So we're seeing a lot of institutional control come to these two projects. Now, what project could be next for a Solana type run? Well, I got some projects I really like. Elrond, Cosmos. Cosmos is one that we've already seen have a big run. We just put $500,000 each into HBAR, Algorand, eGold, and XRP as well. So we believe these projects still have a lot more upside. The one we put the rest of the money in that we were moving back over to crypto was Avalanche. Now, Avalanche is one to watch, okay? Because one of the biggest crypto funds out there is the A16Z fund. Now, this is ran by Andreessen Horowitz. And so what happens is whenever that money flows into a project, you can count on it to have big returns. So we're now looking at institutions starting to put money in Avalanche, similar to what we saw in Solana the last few months. When the rest of the market was down, it was pumping. The market has been crushed this week. Avalanche still up 25%. I talked about this about a week and a half ago. And ever since then, Avalanche has been climbing while the rest of the market has been going down. Cosmos has been doing the same. Elrond has, HBAR and Algorand have all had pretty good runs lately. But to me right now, for the market to have gotten crushed and Avalanche to climb up to number 11 in market cap, I think it shows it's got a lot higher to go. I think it could end up at 7 or 8 and make some more big moves.
Yeah, it's been a massive move. Obviously, they had an announcement this week. They had a bunch of injection of funds from a bunch of other funds as well.
Which similarly, something that we saw with Solana right before it went on its massive run when it had $300, I think $90 million put into it.